we just wanted to share this week. I know we haven't posted anything for a couple of weeks, and well, one of the reasons is that we spent some time in this wonderful place, and so just wanted to give an update. And but we do, after we've shared that about Joshua and Christy's adoption in our previous episodes, today is Christy's Gotcha Day, the day that we celebrate going to the Cobb County Courthouse and officially becoming parents. And then last week was Joshua's Gotcha Day. And so we've just had some celebrations that we've kind of missed because we've been in the hospital.
Yeah.
And so Debbie's just going to give us an update as to how things are going and where we are today.
So it has been a really tough week. I try so hard to stay out of the hospital that I end up, when I do get to the emergency room, I end up having to stay for longer. But essentially, I was having a lot of pain. My stomach was bloating and distended, and it was so bad that it just kept pushing my feeding tube out, straight through the abdomen. Initially, we had a little balloon and it holds it in place, but I could literally feel it popping through the skin. And then if we looked down, we could see the tube actually working itself out. So the doctors were intrigued. I wasn't intrigued. But anyway, so I'm trying to think, on the night, it's been a week.
Well, it was Wednesday night at midnight.
That's right. And so the whole day on Wednesday, I was just draining a lot more from, gastric fluids. And I had to call Athol, and he came, I think, 3 times that day to help me redress it. And literally, eventually he said, "You have got to stay still. Get on the bed and not move."
She's terrible. I tell her to stay still, and she runs around trying to tidy the room, and she's bending and picking things up. She's a very bad patient.
Sounds about right.
Yes.
Anyway, I did all of that. But it's things like that that keep me on the bed and that are in, a really bad source of frustration for me. And so, anyway, by Wednesday evening, we were just putting more gauze on top of more gauze and just taping it down. And I woke up at midnight, went to the bathroom, and I just felt pop, and the whole tube just fell out. So after fighting to stay out of the ER, we ended up coming in at like 12:30 that morning.
And the tube that's inserted is about 12 to 14 inches long. So for that to pop out, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. And it was incredibly painful as well. And I have 2 pain scales. The one is I'm able to suck it up, and the other one is not sucker upper bill.
Yes.
So I was in the non-sucker.
Not coping.
Yes, I was not coping. Anyway, got to the ER, they just pushed the tube. They just take it from us, didn't even rinse it, and they just pushed the tube back in. But they noticed that as they were pushing it in, it was falling out and working itself out. So they admitted me, mainly for pain control, and then to figure out why I was so distended. So that has been almost a whole week now. And they haven't figured out things. But it's been really hard to be here, with the kids at home, and then of course Athol having the added burden essentially of not only working full time but also being there for me and the children. So I hate being in the hospital. I know it was the right place at the right time, but yeah, today in fact they are, I think, writing our discharge orders, and so I'm excited to go home. And yeah, this is just the 5th or 6th time I've been in the hospital this year. This is a part of our family. The kids come, the kids come, they know what to do. Joshy sits in the corner and plays with his switch. Christy plays with my hair, does my hair, and all of that. So it's really become a big part of our lives, much as we not that we are enjoying it, but we are trying to find the joy in everything that we do, which is increasingly hard when you're in pain and not sleeping and all of that. So, yeah, we just wanted to bring this. It's, I've been in 6 nights already. And so people hear you going into the hospital, and then they assume you're just out in a day or two, but it's hard when, I'm going to go on a limb here and say, and be vulnerable and say it's really hard when we have a church of 160, 170 people, and yet I still feel lonely. And that's nobody's fault but my own. But it is because of the health and the fact that I can leak through my feeding tube at any time. I can, have cramping and diarrhea at the drop of a hat, and and it's just so in that way it's really isolated me, and the enemy's had a field day with that. If somebody doesn't call, it's not that they're not thinking of me, but I take it as they are. So I've got a lot of growing to do in this area. And then being open, if I'm struggling, just to text a friend and, essentially looking to do life together. But this is just what we wanted to share. This is a big part of our lives. The kids are kind of jaded and blasé about everything. But yeah, it's a big challenge, and it shouldn't be part of our lives, but it is. So as I said about choosing joy, even on those hard days, is that we have to push through. And so it's at those times we need lots of prayer and support. So do you have anything?
No, just, it's hard for all of us, and we do know, and even on Sunday, how the church prayed for us. We do know people care and love, but one thing that I've really wrestled with and come to understand is, as churches, as life groups, as people in ministry, we're really good at treating or caring for people when they have an accident or have a baby or have surgery, but it's hard when there's chronic illness, when the pain doesn't go away, when the sickness doesn't go away for years. And as a church, it's helped me to, think about those that are dealing with chronic pain, chronic sickness, chronic illness, the suffering that doesn't seem to go away. We do pray for miracles. We pray that God would heal, but sometimes God allows us to kind of go through this so we can have a better appreciation and care for those that also live this life.
I actually saw a quote yesterday that said that God doesn't send the storms your way. Some of them are meant to clear your path.
That's a good one.
So things don't work, and obviously this has been a not a lifestyle, but this is a reality, and this is how we live it. And really, for those of you that have reached out, and the number of comments and encouraging words and support that you've posted, it does. It means the world to us. It really does. I'm still hurting. Nothing's changed as far as pain or pain control. So just as we go home, Athol's like, "Well, you're going home, smile," and I'm kind of nodding it, but I don't want to smile because essentially nothing's changed. So now I get to go home, and I'm excited. But I know I'm going to be isolated again. So And the today looks like tomorrow, you know, looks like yesterday, and so you could just pray for me. Because it's really hard to choose joy. And I can't do it every day. But we do it when I can. But thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for your prayers. And as Debbie said earlier, I mean, if that storm is clearing the way, we have to walk by faith that God is clearing a path for something in the future for us.
Yes.
And we believe that. And so thank you for walking this journey with us and for all of your love and support. We love you all.